it all fade away. Don't you worry if it all feels the same. Just keep trying, you will know when it changes. It's your cloudy, sunny day. Close your eyes, watch it all fade away.
Yeah, take a sip.
I don't
feel like it. I don't feel
Sometimes
like
I don't
it.
want it.
Sometimes you, last week you didn't open it until you left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I noticed that. I noticed that you didn't open it until you left.
I felt like I needed energy before my drive.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you will again on your drive with lots of traffic again.
Yeah. I will say that the drive initially was very easy, and I was thinking, wow, because there's there's hypothetical storms all across the DFW today.
Scary stuff, you know what I mean?
When that happens, everybody leaves work at like 2 p.m., like the blue collar people. Wait, no, sorry. Is that white collar, blue collar? I've actually never known.
I think white collar.
That's what I think too. So the white collar people typically will leave like super early, basically take any opportunity to leave early. I'm one of those white collar people.
Why don't they all love their jobs?
This is shocking information.
Oh my God, they make so much money. How can they not like their jobs?
Cancel Bucks, hold on.
I felt like genuinely answering that question, and I was like, no, it's pointless. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it's funny.
But yeah, like it was super easy. My drive was like there was nobody on the road. I was like, this is great, and there was no storm at the time that I left. And then I just fucking hit the fucking lake, and it went from a 15-minute drive to 40 minutes. And I got really mad.
It's very reasonable to be upset about that.
Not mad at the people around me, but just like mad that I was in that situation. I could have hopped on if I had known that was going to happen, I could have hopped on the express lane for $1
yeah.
and skipped that whole kerfuffle.
Yeah, that's true.
I played a gig this weekend where the drummer, everybody was texting in a group chat, which they're probably driving. But anyway, it was like, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'll be there in 20 minutes or whatever. And then about 20 minutes goes by and the drummer texts and goes, I couldn't leave my house because it was hailing really bad. So I'm going to be about I'll be there in 40 minutes. And then he's like, 20 minutes later, he goes, I'm 20 minutes into my drive and realized I left my cymbals at home. So I'm going to go to a Guitar Center and buy cymbals.
Do you know what symbols he showed up with?
They were like Sabian, not
stack.
Like
not good ones.
AAXs or
Something like that,
Okay.
yeah. And
That's
he was
so
like,
funny.
can I return these? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know their policy on
wild.
cymbals.
That is so funny. Oh my god. Do we address? Well, I guess.
Do we address the Adam in the room? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. More than welcome to Don't Feed the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam. I don't know.
Jackson couldn't be here today.
He's in timeout.
Shut up back there.
He's not. Yeah, shut up. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not running late this time. He's just not coming.
Yeah. He's running so late. He'll be here next week.
Yeah, I don't like. I guess we shouldn't say where he is, but he's in one of those states where there's like nobody there.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know why he's there.
I don't remember where he is.
I know why he's there, and I remember where he is.
I remember
Okay.
where he is.
He's there for wife's family stuff.
Got it.
Yeah,
Wife's family stuff.
yeah. So I
In
guess it's
that
Adam's
state.
family, but like just to clarify, like that's the reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
In-law stuff,
In-laws. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
not outlaw stuff. Because Adam's a good boy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
He's not a good boy.
I would say he is. Yeah.
I
yeah,
would say
yeah.
he's a good. He's not a bad boy.
I know exact things that make him an outlaw.
It's
Actually,
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do
that's
I.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Most white men with a full beard were libertarians once. So, like, I don't feel like you can truly fault them for that.
That's so funny. Oh man.
I think you can.
You can.
Yeah,
you can.
110%.
I never had a full beard, so I don't fall in that category.
Yeah,
you
you're-
guys do.
You said thanks for saying it's full.
It's yeah.
Thanks for saying I was a libertarian once.
Uh-huh.
What the
I was
fuck?
never a libertarian.
Yeah, I was never a libertarian.
Yeah.
I was around a lot of them.
Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
all were.
Yeah.
You let us know over the weekend that you're just you've decided mustache.
Did I do that? Was that on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. I could. Time's a fucky thing.
Times a fuck.
How do you decide how low to go?
I don't really.
Okay. You just workshopping?
I just kind of the mustache is what you're referring to, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What else? Fucking limbo?
I don't know.
Twerking.
How do you decide how low to twerk, Jackson?
I don't really. It
You really just arch your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put your hands on your knees, arch your back.
Yeah.
That's
you could,
really
like,
it.
Put a squat in there.
Yeah. I
You
can't
could.
twerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't twerk either, but I know the
Megan's quiet over there.
the inner
makings of a twerk.
workings.
I can't really twerk.
Okay.
I could give it my fucking all though.
I really wish I could. I genuinely wish I could twerk. I think that'd be fun. I want to take dance classes. I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Any type of dance. Like I'm not saying like, oh, I want to do hip hop dance or I want to do like ballroom dance. I want to do any dance. I'll do anything.
I did tap dancing.
I don't want to do that dance actually. Now that
Too
you brought
annoying.
that up,
I didn't take a class.
done it before. It sucks.
I had to do it for a musical, and I
loud
had
as
a
shit.
really big, like I was the lead, and the lead had a tap dancing number. I had to learn how to tap dance for that. It was awful. It was horrible.
Is there home video footage?
I don't know. I think my
somewhere?
mom's watching. Text me if we have that of that.
Yeah.
I have that of that.
Have you ever been in tap shoes, Dave?
Have I ever been in tap shoes?
Uh-huh.
No.
They're loud as shit.
I do. I would love to be in tap shoes though.
There's nothing like you can't subtly walk in them.
You know what would be fun? Putting tap shoes on some of my students
Why's that?
because they tap their damn feet
Their damn feet.
out of time. And if they
Oh.
had tap shoes on, it would accentuate that, and then I could shame them. You suck. That's why you're here.
You're mean to your students. They're kind of like there to be tutorialized by you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
am their tutor.
Yeah. You're their tutor.
Yeah.
Do they ever toot in your
Yeah,
they do.
tutorials?
Yeah.
That's like one of your rules in your lesson.
Yeah, it's
right?
I've canceled
have
that
to
rule.
tell me
It
if you
Cancel
do.
that rule?
Yeah, it
Is that so
backfired.
you can fart?
No, it's no, because I could always fart under that rule. The rule was if the
right.
students could fart in class, and if they're kids, adults just don't fart generally in public. Students can fart in
you
class if
lose
they're
that
kids.
as
yeah,
you age.
yeah.
So that your wistfulness and your fart abilities go away.
Some
Yeah.
and also like some adults our age do fart in public. I was
Yeah.
at Target yesterday, and I walked behind someone who was looking
You were a
at,
target in Target.
I walked behind somebody who was looking at some medicine,
Pride
and they were
selection.
like, and it's not there anymore, man. And they farted. It was bad.
You got
Go
crop
ahead.
dusted.
Oh, it was like a crop explosion.
You can't say anything though, right?
It was like
I
a
just walked
Canadian
away.
wildfire.
Yeah, I just walked away. Yeah.
The rule is that if the kid farts, it's okay if they fart, but if it stinks, I get to tell everybody in the store that they farted and it stinks. If I fart, they get to do the same thing.
Awesome.
Really deters kids from farting. I have one student that recently has just like been ripping ass, and then whenever his parents come to pick him up, he's like, "I farted in class today. Mr. Dave makes me tell you that." And I'm like, "Oh, now I feel like a fucking weirdo asshole."
Mr.
So
Dave.
I'm stopping that.
Mr. Dave makes
Mr.
me
Dave.
tell you when I fart.
Do you have any weird rules?
No, I have a really specific rule in the drum lessons that if you stop playing, like that you're not allowed to stop playing. Like if you're playing a groove
For a half an hour straight.
yeah, if you're playing a groove and you make a mistake, don't stop unless I stop you.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I know that there's like two ways of thinking on that of like, hey, if you practice the wrong thing, you're going to like ingrain that in yourself. But also I think the live aspect.
But that's
is
why
really
I'm
helpful.
there. I'm there to tell them if they did something wrong. So like if I think their mistake is so egregious that it's that we need to do it again, then I will make that choice. But like I have students who will be playing a groove and they'll like accidentally hit the rim of the snare instead of the snare and they're like, darn it. I'm like, hey,
Dag nabbit.
I would love it if you just kept playing.
Yeah.
That would be so much more preferred for all of us.
Just thought of a great band name. Egregious Philbin.
Nice.
Andy.
Yeah. I'm going to text that to Andy.
Get them in here.
Yeah, great. How's everybody else doing?
I don't have any rules like that for my work that I can think of. I do get. I had this thought the other day. I was at the dentist, and the dentist was just fucking talking to me, and it's just like,
Why do they
that's
do?
really fucked up. Of
Why
you.
do they think that it's the right time to start up a conversation when they're doing like work on your teeth?
Also, like they were asking me questions, and it's like I can at best give you a grunt, and no, at best I can give you a yes or no when you give me a quick break when you're doing something, but I can't have a genuine conversation with you.
Oh, you play
You're
guitar?
an asshole.
What's your take on January 6th?
He started going off
What kind of
on
music do you play?
yeah. And I started like because that would like really annoy me that they would do that. I would try and like, okay, if you're gonna like hold me hostage in this way, I'm gonna try and like look you in the eyes whenever and like not blink whenever you're doing this.
I feel like that's gonna.
But now I go to a new dentist where they put these like glasses. They have a TV on the wall and they put these glasses that are like periscopes.
Apple Vision.
No. But they're like periscopes that like you're looking up at a mirror and it's pointing at the TV, so I can't do that anymore. So they're fucking talking to me. I can't look at them and the TV's on. I genuinely told them, they asked me, "Hey, what do you want to watch?" And I said, "To be honest, I've been watching a shit ton of TV lately. If you don't mind, I'm cool with just nothing." And the hygienist turned and said, "How about a documentary?" And then turned it on. I was like, what the fuck?
Maybe she wanted to watch the documentary.
It's fine. I did learn some cool stuff about bears. So like,
Such as?
they started talking about hibernation. And for me, I think like we all know that bears hibernate over the winter. And like, I just guess I've always taken that at face value and never have questioned like what that entails. I was like, oh, so like they literally just sit there for 4 months, not
Yeah.
like, and they don't get up. Like for some reason I thought, well, maybe they get up every once in a while or something. It's like, no, apparently they like slow their heartbeat to, I think it's like 6 beats per minute, something like that.
Jesus.
And if like while I was sitting there having the dental work done, I started like slowly counting, like trying to do 6 beats per minute or something like that. And I was like, this is fucked up how slow their heart goes.
That's insane.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know. We just there's a lot of things like that we just take at face value. And then like, you're like, oh shit, that means this like crazy, like life altering thing.
If you could hibernate, would you?
No,
No, too scary.
I don't want to waste 4 months.
Yeah. Also, I like the winter. I hate the summer.
Well, what
yeah,
about
if
the
I could,
summer?
if I could
That's what I'm
hibernate
saying.
right fucking now, I would.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Forecast for next week is like 102, 105.
Yeah, I'm
103.
already on my Instagram asking for people to recommend what video game I'm going to play this summer while I avoid going outside.
Yeah.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
So we're doing. We're back to some music news today.
Drama. It's all drama.
It's
This
all
is
drama.
None of this is true news.
It's all fucking drama.
Gossip.
It's all goss, which I'm happy about.
Gloves
It's
off.
hot goss.
I love hot goss.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. So this one feels like I thought that it was like kind of dying down, and as far as like people like caring about it, and then as I was looking stuff up today, I was like, people are still fucking talking about this shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Whoa. So we're here to talk about, first of all, the timeline of and the relationship of Taylor Swift and Matt Healy.
So does everybody know Matt Healy,
God,
Singer for the 1979?
1975.
1975.
I have a
It's a pumpkin song. Sorry.
detailed list of the horrendous acts that he has committed in his career.
He sucks as a person.
Is horrible.
What really
So,
sucks about Matt Healy is I do really like that band, but like he is the worst part of that band. Not in like a singing or a
he's
musicianship,
a piece of shit.
but just his whole antics and then his like just the lyricism. It's just like you didn't have to say that. And you're detracting from like a really well put together song. He reminds me of like a Johnny Depp where it's like, sure, maybe you haven't done anything like truly despicable, but like I fucking hate you and you're very annoying.
I also think Matt Healy maybe has done some truly despicable
Sure.
things.
And I also feel the same way about
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
But we can get into that.
What are some things on the list?
You want to just jump into why Matt Healy is a horrible human being?
Yes. Well, I mean, what are we waiting for?
Well, we
Him to
could
redeem himself.
we could build it
for
up
the Flash to be
into-
released. Sorry, Kang Dynasty.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So I mean, like as of recently, some horrible things he's done in like a lighter way are he does these skeevy things where he invites people on stage and like makes out with them,
I've
licks
seen
their
that.
fingers, like
Okay.
all this fucking creepy ass shit.
He
Does he
did
have
that
a
one
point behind it?
Well, he is a sex icon for his group.
It's fucking disgusting.
He did it one time on stage, and like he like leaned in to kiss this girl, and like the person like taking the video was like her boyfriend, and it's just like, dude, like
yeah,
he thinks that like just because that girl is on stage that's already like the consent that like
Yeah.
you're gonna like it if I kiss you.
I know that some artists like Usher and I want to say like maybe Janet Jackson have gotten people up on stage and like gave them lap dance-esque scenarios.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't
I'm
think
not saying it's okay. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah,
that
yeah.
there is a bit of a history of.
Sure, yeah, there is a bit of a history for it. I think that is very true. I think that there's a large issue. I mean, like this. I'm saying that that's the bottom of the fucking barrel for Matt Healy.
Right.
We have like that's not even close to the worst. So
he
like
says uncomfortable racial things.
so the Swifties are fucking ride or die for Blondie.
Yes.
They are like
Has she always been blonde?
that's just what they call her Blondie.
Oh, I
call
didn't
her-
know that.
Swifties call her Blondie.
That's cool.
Okay.
I guess.
So they are ride or die for Blondie, and
Yes.
they defend her to every fucking like to the ends of the earth. So when it was like announced that she's dating Matt Healy, they were like, "Holy fuck, this guy is horrible! Stop! Like, no, this isn't good."
The subreddit, like the Taylor Swift subreddit, at that day that it happened, I went on it. There was a whole discussion thread about it, like people saying, like, "Hey, I thought it'd be a good idea for us to have this discussion thread
Like a powwow about.
to make sure everybody." They probably didn't say powwow, but
Oh, I probably shouldn't say that.
it's okay. This is how you learn.
Yeah.
But they had this whole discussion thread, and the person who put it up said, like, I just want to make sure that everybody's mentally doing well with, the recent news. And then they did like an edit under that. Unfortunately, right now, that Reddit
It's
is
private?
not is private,
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
can't
yeah.
look up like these like really diligent timelines done by actual like communities as opposed to the Teen Vogue article I have open. But basically, like the person had to do an edit saying like, "Hey, I wasn't trying to insinuate that Taylor Swift, Blondie dating Matt Healy is a mental health crisis. I apologize if my wording came off that way." But if you read the comments, people were acting like that. I was like, it's kind of like I understand why they're upset, but it was also kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It goes a bit far. There is like a podcast that I watch every week, and one of the hosts is a huge Swiftie, and she was on the side of like, let Taylor date who she wants to date. We'll get into who she dated before Matt Healy, but he is the most boring, bland dude ever. So like, it, makes sense to go to vaguely racist guy who is like a quote unquote sex icon.
And actively like talk shit about her. And it's just like,
yeah. So we'll dive into that in a little bit, but
At this point, do you think she might start dating people because she knows she's going to break up with them?
No,
And might
no,
get
no.
I'm
I
saying this
have-
in jest, but like,
I think that's an unfair characterization of her, that not from you, but from the
Yeah.
like general discussion.
yeah.
I have
That,
a,
like
I have
just
a
let her
theory.
date who she wants. I agree, but also like if she dates 10 people in a month, fine, fuck it, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I have a theory about why she dated Matt Healy. But we'll get to it. So a couple things that he has done in recent years is he walked out to the sorry, I guess I should say not maybe, but definitely like trigger warning, vaguely racist things.
Okay.
He walked out on stage doing a Nazi salute.
That video is a bit. Have you seen the video though?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not defending him, but like, it's kind of hard. It's not super obviously a Nazi salute from the video I saw.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the image that I have here looks like a Nazi salute. He walked out doing that in the image or in the video. I don't know if that's the same video you saw, but
Is that a quote from him?
Okay, so then that's the next part. So this was days after Holocaust Remembrance Day in January, and then in a lyric in that song that he's singing, it's "Love It If We Made It." There's a reference to Kanye, and then right when he sings that lyric, he said, "Thank you, Kanye, very cool," which is when he did the salute.
So it seems like he's being Seafish.
It comes up like
Which
when
he is like
yes.
the definition of an edgelord, and
Yeah.
he's very aware of his public image and has very much just stopped trying to manicure it anymore.
Yeah.
And they specifically on this most recent tour, and if you're into a good joke, go on TikTok and look this up. But this is one of those things where like I worry with that like Nazi salute one that most of what you'll see is like a screenshot or a screen grab. And like, I think stuff like that, like, I'm not saying like, oh, it's easy to make somebody look like they're doing a Nazi salute, but like, you do have to be careful with like, okay, this is a guy who's on stage every night. Let's like make sure that we actually see the video, that kind of thing. But they do have this very, that I think it's a pretty funny way of poking at the, like his self-image being self-referential of, before there's this specific song in the set where he goes, he starts talking, he goes, yeah, so everybody thinks that like the band, like I'm in control of them, but really they just kind of start whenever they want, you know, like I don't control what they do. I'm not the leader of this band, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I've been wanting to talk about trans people in sports, and then boom, the band starts into, and every night it's a different thing.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
And that's pretty funny.
There's the one where where people use this as an example where he's like, I was going to say something racist, and then they cut him off.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of fans who are like, he is definitely being satirical.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, like there's definitely a line, and he has crossed it.
Yes.
And this isn't even like, again, we're not like there's so much more to the stuff. He like there's other kind of anti-Semitic stuff that he has posted, but I'll jump past some of that stuff and get into the Ice Spice drama,
which is like the most recent thing.
Yeah.
If you don't include the Taylor Swift stuff.
Yeah. So he was on a podcast, and they were talking about Ice Spice. And I'm not going to read all of what he said because it mostly makes me feel pretty uncomfortable. But one of the things that he said was called her a chubby Chinese lady, and then started doing like a Chinese accent and making fun of her. And so one of the hosts said, so you slide into her DMs, what are you, a fucking Eskimo or something? And he responded, yeah, that's what I was like. And then so anyway, there's clips of, there's no clip chimping of that. That is on the podcast. You can hear that.
Clip chimping?
Yeah, it's like a term of like you can just grab a clip of something and make it look out of context.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a whole lot of this, like, you know, and again, maybe it is satire, but it's like there was like a tweet that was like, love listening to three privileged white guys sit around and objectify a young black female artist who's blowing up. Welcome to your 30s.
Okay.
And so it's like, this is not, it's not. And then he responded to that and like, you know, more satirical stuff. It's just, it's not good. Like, it's really, really like he's not a good person. Even if all of it is satire, it's like, this is just coming across horrible.
So let's get a little into the Taylor Swift side. Did you know that Taylor Swift had been dating somebody for 6 years?
6.5 years.
I didn't know that. My partner told me that, was like, oh yeah, well, you know, Taylor Swift has been doing really well recently in her love life. Like, she's been with this person for like 6 years. And I said, oh wow, I didn't know that. And then literally the next day after I was told this news, I went on my phone and looked it up because I was like, I wonder who this person is. I've never heard of this relationship. And then the first article that was up is Taylor Swift hints on stage that her and longtime boyfriend have split. I was like, oh, I don't know if you know this. I like texted my partner. I was like, I think you broke them up. I think you did that. So basically, yeah, on stage, she hinted that they had broken up. I forgot exactly how she did that. Like, I think it was something like she was playing this one song every night at this specific part and then didn't play that song that night.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh shit, they broke up.
Right.
Because like he helped her write those like 2 records.
Also, not only just helped, but for all the big Taylor Swift fans, there is a lot of theory about like same running lyrics across the last 3 albums that are all connected, like especially specific colors that are related to him. So there's a lot of that going on here with our Taylor Swift of it all.
So basically they break up in April of 2023. And then in May of 2023, which I do know is a month later,
Woo! Amazing.
Wow.
they're basically, it's very heavily hinted that Swift and Matt Healy are dating. And it's one of those things where I don't know what your timeline says.
Yeah. So I'm gonna back you up just a hair to 2014.
Wait, Taylor
ahead.
Swift and Matt Healy's relationship name could be Swahili.
Great.
It could have
It
been.
could
Yes.
Could have been.
Could have been.
And yeah, and then, that would have, set Matt Healy up for the alley-oop of a, racially
racial-
insensitive
really
comment.
fucking yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in 2014, that is when Matt Healy and Taylor Swift met. And there was like talk of them potentially going on dates around then. But then in 2016, this is something else that Healy said that was horrible, is he said it would have, quote, been emasculating to date Swift. He said, quote, she wasn't a big impact on my life. It's just interesting to me how interested the world is about Taylor Swift. The reason I mention that is because if I had properly gone out with Taylor Swift, I would have been fucking hell. I am not being Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Fuck that. That's also a man thing, a emasculating thing. That was 2016, and he has since said, like, I didn't mean that exactly like how I said it. Would sure satire, even with satire is like the thing, but whatever. So then, yes, in April, that's when it was known that Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn broke up. Now, Joe Alwyn is an actor. You can look up what he's been in, and you'll be like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah, I
Just
think
some,
I
like,
just
British
knew
Yeah.
about him from the documentary that came out.
So, but the
Apparently, Taylor Swift currently has a type, and it's British men, according to Teen Vogue.
Yep. The idea is that they probably broke up in February, actually, and it just became known in April. And there are plenty of cheating rumors on both sides. That's again all rumors.
Oh, dang.
Aw, dang.
Allegedly, they're
Darn.
doing it.
Darn. So then, apparently, around that time in May, early May.
Who did he cheat with? Was it like Judi Dench? I'm thinking
You
like
leave Dame Judi Dench out of this.
I'm just like sitting here thinking like, oh, like Swift is like her dating pool is like pop stars, like very attractive people, and then I'm thinking he's like in the like British soap opera circle, the theater.
Yeah, that's you. I think you nailed it. So apparently they
I don't know
started-
though. If I could go on a date with Olivia Colman, I would be a happy boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they
Maybe he came out on top here.
maybe he
Yeah.
did.
What?
Came out on top.
What?
I don't know.
Like a sex
Like a
position
sex joke.
kind of.
Okay. I'm gonna give you another one, another cancel book for that.
I don't think he deserves that one.
It's just a bad joke.
Then I think he deserves that one.
So apparently, Taylor Swift and Matt Healy started to fall madly in love. That's a quote from a source. There's a lot of anonymous sources in all this.
Their love was mad, bruh.
Through FaceTiming each other. They are both on tour, and they both just were FaceTiming each other nonstop.
This feels very high school.
Yeah. So he plays a song called "She's American" during a performance. And
Do you
then-
know the story behind that song?
I don't know. No, I have no idea.
Just as deep about lore as this.
Really? Jesus.
It's about Halsey. And
Oh, okay.
basically, she had a Tumblr before she got really big.
Yeah.
And she wrote a bunch of poetry on it. And it is all very obviously about Matt Healy. And if you look this up, I'm giving you guys the abridged version.
Yeah.
But he
Thanks.
basically was just clearly sleeping with her as a like, oh, I'm a famous guy on tour. I'm going to sleep with this attractive person.
Yeah.
And basically, Halsey at the time was just clearly heavily devoted to him. And that song, She's American, is just all about like saying like, what a dumb person telling me to fix my teeth. So American, super vain. I don't give a shit about this person. And if you read it's Tumblr poetry.
Yeah, yeah.
It is painful.
Fuck yeah.
I'm
That's
not like
awesome.
a Halsey stan, but like I feel for them. It's just like, oh fuck.
So he plays She's American and then says she sure is, which like the people tweeted like this is the
Wow.
funniest thing for him to do like right after the rumors start of them dating.
This is what these fucking people do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was the same thing for My Chemical Romance, and I'm very aware that I was doing the same thing of like, oh, they're gonna release the 5th album on the 5th night of the LA run. And it's just like, God, the clinging to literally nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so then during another one of his shows, he mouths the words that people are zooming in and seeing his face mouth words. They can't hear it. Mouthing, "This one's about you. You know who you are. I love you." Now, when I read this in the timeline, I was like, "That's stupid. I don't care about this."
Yeah.
Now, 2 days later in the timeline, in a Taylor Swift show, she does the same fucking thing. She mouths the words, "This one's about you. You know who you are. I love you." And I watched the videos. I can't believe I spent my time doing that.
Can you believe that there are people paying $1,000 for a Taylor Swift ticket to just watch her commit foreplay? It's
They
that
fucking
sucks.
love that shit.
That
Taylor
sucks.
Swift fans have to love that shit. Yeah. So speaking of that, like people were saying, this is either a hilarious commitment to the bit, super romantic, or my worst nightmare.
Super romantic.
So yeah. So then the next night, then that's you guys probably saw this. This is when Matt Healy plays with Phoebe Bridgers and Boy Genius opening for Taylor Swift.
I did
Yeah.
not see that.
I saw that.
Yep.
People were like, "Is that Maddie Healy on stage with Phoebe Bridgers?"
Yeah, it's fucking like
Yeah.
Stan heaven up there.
Also,
dude.
also two people who have clearly had sex with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get into Phoebe Bridgers next.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's
You're not safe, Phoebe.
I just started watching the show Shrinking. There's a clip in that where he's one of the main characters riding a bike, listening to Phoebe Bridgers. And he's like, "Damn you, Phoebe Bridgers!"
I need to watch that show.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's another one of Bill Lawrence's Apple TV shows.
Yeah.
It's Jason Segel and Harrison Ford.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's really good.
Harrison Ford's in it. I'm fucking out.
Not a fan of Harrison Ford, are you?
No,
What did he ever do?
just nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
Okay, he's just an old man.
Just a lot of that.
They make a joke about that in the show.
Okay,
And he got
so
paid probably like $10 million.
We're still in early May, and at this point, Entertainment Tonight reports that sources close to the rumored couple confirmed that they quote like each other. But do they like each other?
It's fucking Teen Vogue, dude. It's high school.
Dude, I'm reading. This is on Glamour.
Oh,
okay? I'm
okay.
on Glamour.com.
Sorry.
I'm on Glamour.com.
Wow.
Get this shit fucking right. He's on Teen Vogue.
I am.
So then we deal with all this kind of back and forth of, okay, so Jack Antonoff introduced them. Okay, now they're photographed holding hands. And then he plays with Phoebe Bridgers again, opening up for Taylor Swift. There's the rumor that Taylor has finally moved on from Joe Alwyn, enjoying her time.
Healy is spotted at a Swift show with her dad.
Yep. That too. That's coming up. Yep. The start of this section. Did he charm her dad with self-effacing jokes? Healy is in with Papa Swift, a huge endorsement.
Oh my god.
So they are, the rumors are going hot and heavy that they are dating. There might be collaborating on something. They're in the studio working on something. They did actually work on something for Midnights or whatever that got scrapped. But
This picture of them two together, there's the famous like paparazzi picture that's going around from this whole incident of the two of them together. I for some reason thought Taylor Swift was much taller than she is. Either he is taller, which I,
think he's
don't
t- I-
believe.
I thought
I
he
don't
was.
believe that he's
He
British.
looks like he's short.
yeah.
Oh, I thought he was taller.
He looks short, and I thought she was like much taller. But like in this photo, I'm like, yeah, they're the exact same height. It's probably like that picture of us three standing together, and
Yeah.
I'm the same height as y'all, and
Doesn't
we can't
make
quite
any-
figure out
yeah,
how
it
that
doesn't
happened.
make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
He's 5'9".
okay, so she's probably like 5'8".
She's 5'11".
Oh,
That's what I'm
interesting.
saying. I thought like she was close to like 6 foot tall.
Interesting.
Well, he
Crazy.
does have like not like a heel, but like a boot heel
Like a
here.
Healy.
But she's not. She's wearing flats.
Yes, dude.
This is the important shit right here.
This is for people listening. This is why we say please give us suggestions, because this is what we're doing.
Shout out to this guy in the background who's just having the time of his life.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's
I'm in a
awesome.
paparazzi photo.
First of
no,
all-
my friend, you're in fucking history.
First of all, Dave, I have to address this because this is Hagen's Hot Goss, and you need to shut the fuck up about this.
all right, nice. I like
This
this.
is great. This is easy peasy. We get to talk about fucking gossip and how fucking ridiculous celebrities are. This is awesome. Okay, so just before we're at May 20th. Okay, just before singing the song "Question," she decides
By
to give
System of a Down.
yeah by System of a Down. Yeah.
Oh man, that song is so good.
I think that's what she was playing. Yeah.
So cool.
So she decides to give a quote rare update on how she's been feeling. She says, quote, "Oh my gosh, this is insane. I kind of just feel like telling you, I don't know. I've just never been this happy in my life in all aspects of my life ever before."
This is at that show where it like rained, right?
I don't know. It doesn't say that here. She then says,
Journalism, my ass.
yeah, glamour.com, take that. She then says, "I don't know. It's not just the tour. I just sort of feel like my life feels like it finally makes sense.
This is high school. This is
So-
straight up high school.
So I thought I'd play the
Like
song.
a high school movie diary. Like
Yeah,
entry.
yeah. She's doing that live in front of thousands of people. So I thought I'd just play this song, which brings me a lot of happy memories. And then she plays Question.
I don't know if you guys like as you've gotten older, like whenever I was young and like would feel really good about something, like oh, I told a girl I like her, or vice versa. Like I'm
Like you said, I know that you said it. I know that you said tell a girl. But it's
I
not
heard
like
the
you
same
said,
thing.
I tell
I like
girl
her.
I like her.
Like a fucking caveman.
Mm-hmm.
I told girl I like her.
Sorry, fuck.
you guys are undermining what I'm trying to say.
Sorry.
I feel like I've gotten like as a kid, I couldn't recognize that like that was a fleeting feeling, and whereas like something like me playing guitar for the first time live and like people like saying, "Hey, you sounded really good," is more of a like, "Hey, that's a really good thing you're going to feel for a while. You're going to remember that."
Yeah.
As an adult, I feel like I recognize so much more of like, oh yeah, I beat that really hard boss on Dark Souls. I'm gonna feel great forever. I'm just really happy in my
It's a
life.
real turning
now.
point in my life.
It's not to belittle that like that instant endorphin rush, but like I feel like as an adult, and Taylor Swift is a little bit older than me, not by much, but a little bit older than me. I feel like I've gotten to the point where I could recognize like
Yeah, but
That.
spent how long in the spotlight? Like,
Yeah,
started
which-
as a teenager.
as I said that, I was thinking like she's also like playing sold out stadiums all the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
time. Like her like idea of like endorphin rush is probably fucked up.
I mean,
Well,
people. Go ahead.
A year in the life of someone of that stature is way longer than a year in our lives.
Yeah.
When people talk about like kid stars or people who become famous at a young age, kind of like their maturity is done at a
Yeah.
certain, like when they get that fame. So we continue. They're back in the studio. They're also spotted making out. There's also like the announcement or the release of the song that Taylor Swift did with Ice Spice, which brings up a lot of conversation about
Right.
from Swift fans. So then we're at the end of May. The Sun reports that Matt Healy is moving in with Taylor Swift to work on her next album.
What the fuck?
He and Taylor are so loved up and want to spend as much time together as they can. Matty has already told the 1975 team that he'll be doing all the band demos in America for the foreseeable. He will work on his parts for their collaboration while she is on tour and has scheduled time to attend select shows to gather inspiration for her next album. So
Brave.
So that was May 27th. This is the best part about this whole timeline on glamour.com, which is June 25th, 2023. Over so soon?
That's the update.
Yeah.
Which I do know that May into June is 1 month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
You're really
He is
nailing it.
fucking
That quick math.
Crushing this. This is insane.
All those years at the calculator store.
It's not really a math thing. It's more knowing your months, I would say.
It could be math too.
People get the two confused very easily, but
Math and months.
only people who don't know their months
They
would
have
say
M
that.
and TH and S in them, so it makes sense why you
and
would
M
confuse them.
and N and K and R.
Nice.
So we were just saying letters, right?
Well, I was saying the commonalities between
T
math
M
and
N
months.
T.
Oh, dude.
tits.
Dynamite.
We were going
Dynamite
for the
tits.
same thing. We're going for the same thing.
So, June 5th, 2023.
I feel like part of the thing is that, yeah, I'm not about to define the game. Am I?
the cancel bucks game?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you are the person giving out the cancel book, like, to someone, and you have a cancel book, I feel like you should be able to
I agree.
distribute.
So
So
it's where we're amending the rules.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a
I
amendment.
don't know.
I
It just
feel
feels
you know,
like, you know, a more like dog eat dick world, right?
doggy
Okay.
dick world.
Doggy
Yeah.
dog world.
Yep. I thought you said doggy dick world.
He did.
Oh, I said
It's a dog eat.
dick. That's,
Yeah.
that's what made sense in my head, but I heard
Oh,
doggy
it's
dick.
a doggy dick world.
It's a doggy dick.
Pauly Shore is just laughing his ass off on this one. That one's for the fucking Gen Xers.
So, so then the timeline says June 5th later that day,
Biodome.
and also
What other Pauly Shore stuff is there?
Meet the Parents,
No, he's not in that.
or what am I thinking?
that's Ben Stiller, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know it's Ben
Who is
Stiller's.
not a Gen Xer? Holy shit! Look at Pauly Shore. Holy shit!
He doesn't look that bad in real life now.
I think he does, dude. He looks like he's in one of those Jackass movies where they do the
Sorry.
grandpa stuff.
It wasn't Meet the Parents. It was it was Son-in-Law.
Where they do the grandpa stuff. Encino Man.
And
Should've
Shino
gotten
Man.
that.
I was thinking of Son-in-Law.
That's good. Where they do the grandpa stuff.
Really the grandpa stuff.
Go,
Fuck.
go ahead, Hagen.
Oh man, I don't even know. So
They broke up.
They broke up. The all the sources are basically saying that everybody was just in it for like having fun. And that's kind of where my theory is that I think that Taylor
That's all these
Swift
things are,
was
man.
yeah, I think Taylor Swift was in it
That's
for
okay.
as long as she was, because she was like, this is fun, this is like different, this is maybe it ends, maybe it doesn't. You know, I think take all the rumors obviously with like a grain of salt, but I think that if all of the rumors are true or most of them, I think that she was just dating Matt Healy for the fun of it, and they found that as they spent more time together, they just weren't going to be compatible because he's a racist. So
There is
That'll
that.
do it. Yeah. I don't think this was one of those, but there is like a very real thing of like just publicity relationships. The very in most recent memory, the very obvious one is Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, where it's like, sure, are they fucking? Yeah, absolutely. But it is very clearly a like trying to like both are benefiting from it. In a way of like Kim Kardashian is dating this like goofy dude, and it's just like, oh, it's kind of different to her image, and
Yeah.
like they're everywhere because of that, and then vice versa. You know, he's like, you know, punching above his grade, so to speak, and like he's now like going to be much more in the spotlight than he was before. That's not what this is, but like there's always like a be wary when we're talking about these like highly publicized relationships, especially like there's like what's her name? Camila Cabello?
Camila Cabello.
What that? And Shawn Mendes, like that's another one where it's like kind of like the shit that she would do of like she would go do like yoga in her front yard, which has like a gate in LA, and she would like let the paparazzi know when she was going to be out there, but it makes it kind of look like, oh, they caught her doing yoga and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. I was like, a lot of this stuff is very, very easily manufactured, but it's like watching a security footage scene in a movie, and them just literally copying, pasting a Hollywood movie edited scene into like a
Right.
black and white film grain.
Yeah.
And as the audience member, you don't think about it because you're like, yeah, I'm watching a movie. But if you just step back for a second, you're like, that's a bit fucked. Who filmed that?
Yeah.
That's not security footage. That kind of stuff.
Well, now we take a step back again, and now I don't know as much about this, but we're taking a step back to Phoebe Bridgers. Like Jackson said, she's not safe. She's also not safe.
Yeah. Can I do this one?
You can do this one. I will say that I didn't look into any of this. I just saw a tweet that said I didn't have Phoebe Bridgers and Bo Burnham on my 2023 bingo.
If you didn't, you're a fucking idiot.
Well,
Yeah, well, I mean, she covered one of the songs from.
Also, like that's a very heavily publicized, like, oh, they were obviously canoodling in the past.
sure.
I hate that fucking word.
I don't know.
Well, that's what this article is.
Yeah,
know.
literally.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
Yeah, whoever tweeted that, big dummy. Big dummy. Before I get into this is one of those things about Phoebe Bridgers and like not just specifically her, because I do still love her music and everything, but this is one of those things where I really wish I didn't know so much about her personal life and how publicized it is. Not her fault. Totally in the right to do whatever she wants, but it has started to creep into the music, specifically knowing the whole backstory, the rise and fall of her relationship with Connor Oberst, has made a lot of songs that I listen to of hers. It's like, well, this is clearly about Connor Oberst. There's a song on the Boy Genius record that I was just like, oh, this is really like obviously that, and it kind of sucks. And like everybody does that. Like I write songs about specific people and they're very pointed, but like nobody knows that.
Yeah.
And I sure as hell know that the person who it's about doesn't know it because I know they wouldn't listen to my music, that kind of thing. So
Is that gross? Is Connor Oberst and Phoebe Bridgers like a gross thing? I feel like it's kind of gross.
I
I
feel
feel like it's pretty gross.
yeah, he like cheated on his like then wife for her. They got divorced, and then like
Yeah.
it's a whole fucking
But
thing.
also,
And he's also like
Is there-
40, and she's
That's why I was looking up because I was like,
She's
am I
like
crazy?
28
She's
or
28
29.
and he's 43.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is
okay,
gross.
Okay, cool. I'm like,
Also,
am I-
she like has been noted as saying like Bright Eyes was one of her biggest influences.
I get that.
And
yeah.
like I think it's the power dynamic at the time was fucked. So
yeah, it skeeves me out.
So it
Canoodles
sucks.
me out, man.
It sucks. Like it gets in the way of some songs that I'm like, oh, I think this is a genuinely good song, but like it's hard to like know so much about her personal life, which again, not her fault. She's
Right.
not going out putting this stuff on blast. She's just gotten so famous. So not Taylor Swift. We're off of that for a bit.
We're done.
Phoebe Bridgers was opening up for a handful of shows on the Taylor Swift Eras tour. I don't know how many, but she was opening up for a handful.
As well as like Haim and.
Oh yeah, the it was crazy.
Paramore.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there after Phoebe Bridgers was Muna. It was
Yeah.
just great openers. But you know, at the end, at one of these shows, like if you look at the Eras tour, if you look at the Renaissance tour for Beyonce, there's so many famous people there.
Yeah.
So like it's not uncommon to see super famous people there. Specifically at one show, you have Carl Urban, who, if you don't know, is married to Nicole Kidman.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban.
Fuck, Keith Urban.
I was like,
Be a
man,
lot
did I
cooler.
read that wrong?
It'd be a lot
It would
cooler.
be a lot cooler if it was Carl Urban.
It shows that I like Lord of the Rings more than I like country music.
I was gonna go with the boys Carl Urban.
Carl Urban sounds.
That is, yeah, that's the same guy.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna go with. I was thinking I like to imagine his character from The Boys watching Taylor Swift.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, so Keith Urban and his wife Nicole Kidman.
Man, that is a fucking bummer now.
What?
I wish it was Carl Urban.
Yeah, right. Well, let's just act like it is.
All right.
No, it doesn't. It's integral to the story. Keith Urban and his wife Nicole Kidman are side stage at the Taylor Swift show, and they're dancing, having a great time. And Keith Urban takes out his phone and he puts up on what I think is like, oh yeah, it's TikTok. There's a very specific TikTok right here that I'm looking at right now. It's just him and Nicole Kidman dancing, having a great time. You think nothing about it. They posted this. If you're not in the know, like it means nothing. Then sleuths looked at it and they're like, that looks like Bo Burnham in the back. That guy's tall. And then people keep watching and they're like, there's a shorter blonde person in front of them, in front of Bo Burnham, who in the middle of the video turns around and they start making out. Basically, Bo Burnham and Phoebe Bridgers got doxxed on their, like, whatever it is, relationship. It doesn't matter. But Keith Urban accidentally did that.
That I can see like on the bingo card. Like
Yeah.
Keith Urban exposing Phoebe Bridgers and Bo Burnham making out at a Taylor Swift concert. That's like
The article you sent is so good that it says, but now they just got urbaned.
But what's so great about it is, so I follow Phoebe Bridgers on social media, and she, in my perception, just randomly posted a song by Keith Urban. You know how like you can share like, oh, I'm listening on Spotify. This is what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
She posts a Keith Urban song, and like I don't know any of his songs, but like I don't know if this is a famous song or anything like that. I think she's just saying like, I like Keith Urban. I'm like, okay. And then I find out, oh, that was her saying like, isn't this fucking funny that this guy did that? Keith Urban ended up saying like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I did that in that video. My bad.
Yeah.
He said it in an Australian accent.
Yeah, he said the end
Probably
of,
said the C word.
after the they just got urbaned. The rest of the article says, which just goes to show, if you're maybe dating the tallest man in a 300-foot radius, be wary of Australians wildly bearing camera phones, as the Bible says. That's on Entertainment Weekly.
there we go. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so fucking funny.
I got I think we got one more
sounds good.
one more good one. As at the time of recording, everybody's aware that former President Donald Trump has been arraigned for a second time, accused of crimes, whatever. But part of the large part of this one, and I promise this will get back to music. A large part of this, or the whole point of these crimes, is that what he's being charged of is having documents that you shouldn't have if you're not the president anymore. Top secret documents. I know I'm like just breezing through that. I'm not the right person to talk about that. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is there are two counts in that. God, I'm like, legal terms don't make sense to me.
In the indictment or in the
Sure.
I
There
don't
are
know if
two
that's an
counts
indictment.
in the charges. I'm just going to say charges. Two counts in the charges that refer to Donald Trump showing people who do not have the correct clearances specific documents, which today people are now revisiting this video of Kid Rock, who was being interviewed by Tucker Carlson on Fox News and basically joking about how Donald Trump was showing him these secret maps that specifically referred to like North Korea and stuff.
Yeah, he said, we're looking at maps and shit. And I'm like, am I supposed to be in on this shit? I make dirty records sometimes. What do you think we should do about North Korea? I'm like, what? I don't think I'm qualified to answer this.
Which,
I went to bar, baby. I don't know.
like, to give, I never thought I'd say this, to give Kid Rock some credit, being able to say, I don't think I'm qualified for this. Good for you, dude. The guy who's showing you those maps clearly couldn't do that himself. So
Yeah.
awesome. So basically, people are revisiting that video, like saying, like, "Oh shit, is one of those charges because Donald Trump showed Kid Rock a North Korean secret map?"
Yeah.
And we don't know.
I mean, one
but-
of the 37 seems likely.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
37
that,
charges.
like, this interview happened like a year ago. This happened in 2020. And if you watch the clip, it like Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson are just laughing about it. I'm just like, this is fucking sad that these two are just like thinking this is hilarious. It's like, no, you shouldn't see that. And neither of you should be laughing that a president was like showing you that.
Yeah.
Like apparently, I don't know if it was the same in the indictment. It states a similar, or like one of those instances that Donald Trump had a map and was showing it to somebody, and the person stated like, "Hey, am I able to see this, to which Donald Trump said, probably not, so stay over there. Basically, like being like, if you're far enough away from the map, it's
This
like
is my
you didn't
side of the
see it.
room. This is your side of the room.
Don't
You
put your eyes over here.
Don't cross my side of the room. You can just look.
Impunity. It's just like, that's so fucking funny. I hope that interview, that Fox News interview, gets used in court.
That would be
not to-
fucking great.
Not to keep talking about Trump, but there is that clip of one of his aides leaked a tape of him going like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have this stuff, but like I got it, and it like basically proves that I'm innocent." And the guy was like, "Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't. Like, we have a problem. Like, you're not president anymore. We shouldn't have that stuff." And he's like, "Isn't it magnificent? I know, right?"
The if you look at the indictment, which is public, if you look at it, like there are pictures of like where these documents just like in certain positions, and like this is like a big like cultural divide in America right now. I don't know how far it spreads out outside of that, just because I do have that American centric view, but
American shit-colored glasses.
it's like a huge divide right now in this country. And when you look at this indictment and you see like the one I'm referring people to look at is like, it's just a bunch of like paper boxes in a kitchen. Like if you've ever been
And
to
in
your
the bathroom.
if you've ever been to your grandparents' house and it's just like, well, they're not letting go of
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and they just have it in boxes in the corner. That's what it feels like. I'm like, dude, there's like what feels like a pending civil war about to happen because some fucker has just like paper boxes in his kitchen. And it's like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
The future is so boring.
It is.
Where's my flying car?
He fucking pled not guilty today too.
Yeah, well, what are you
He
gonna do?
also cried.
People were guessing that he might plead guilty so he doesn't get jail time.
And I mean, they already took away his passports and
Well, yeah, but if he pleads guilty, then he wouldn't like. I guess the theory is that his lawyer could have negotiated no jail time for him. But
Well, he doesn't have a lawyer right now, I don't think.
okay, well,
But let's move on from
Yeah,
this
yeah,
because
yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting in bad territory. But fucking hilarious that Kid Rock is like part of the story. Yeah, and I agree with the chat. The documents are safe because bathroom have locks.
cargo space,
Cargo space.
cargo space,
Yep. No,
Cargo space.
future boring. Car no go space.
car no go space.
Car stay on ground. Car slip when floor wet. Sucks. Future sucks.
Oh, that's funny.
Any other news? Anything exciting before we wrap this bitch up?
Dog eat dick world.
Yeah. Olivia Rodrigo's supposedly coming out with a new song.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes I look at
I'll
music.
take it.
Sometimes I look at music news and I'm just like, come on. Like, yeah, musician going to release music. That's not news.
They just want clicks. It's all they care about.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh my God, the 1975 announces a fall 2023 tour.
No, I don't think I have
Grammys
anything else.
adds new awards. Tell me something I don't fucking know. Did you guys see this? That Paul McCartney made a new final Beatles song
I have to go to the
using
bathroom.
AI.
I have to go to the bathroom.
He genuinely, well, while you do that, he basically there was a late John Lennon demo that was quote unquote thought as unusable, and it was extracted with this is what the article is saying. It was extracted with artificial intelligence and completed with new recordings.
I wonder if Ringo was like, the phone didn't ring.
Every time I drive here, there's a big billboard on 35 of Ringo Starr and the All-Star Band at
Windstar.
Windstar Casino.
Yeah.
It's just like, and he's doing that
Yeah.
peace sign thing. Yeah. Somebody outed me at a party the other day. Have said, well, Jackson doesn't like the Beatles. And then the person turned to me and they said, you don't fucking like the Beatles? And I said, no, I don't really. And they're like, oh, what a cool edgelord. I said, you guys outed me. I didn't ask. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't state this. I just answered your question. And now you're
Exactly.
yelling at me.
Jackson doesn't like the Beatles.
This same person told me Taylor Swift is for young people. I was like, she got famous when we were young. What the fuck? I got really mad at this person and I just said, I I'm clearly
I'm leaving this party.
I can't change your mind here. And they were just so mad at me because I didn't like the Beatles. It's like, I'm not being difficult here. I'm not even saying they're bad. I'm just saying like that era of music is just a wash for me. I don't like generally anything in that era.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, should we talk about what we're listening to then?
No, we didn't finish the
Oh,
topic
okay,
about the
okay.
AI song.
Oh, sorry. I missed
But
it,
you
I
will
missed it.
concede that they've had a big influence on modern music.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no arguing that. Yeah, we are done.
Okay, great. What are you guys listening to?
I've been listening to the new Jason Isbell record, Weather Vanes. And specifically, if people are going to check it out, listen to the song Miles. It's the last song on the record, and it's really cool.
Nice. I speaking of Phoebe Bridgers, went back to the Boy Genius record this week. I'm only mentioning this because of one thing, and then I'll actually say what I've been listening to. So a friend of mine went to the show in Dallas, and I was pretty bummed I didn't go. But I was also like, it's expensive. I don't really want to go to this fucking like
It's like a festival type thing.
that venue sucks. I also learned that they didn't actually do it in the venue. They built a stage in the parking lot, which is somehow worse.
They did that once when it was Modest Mouse and Brand New.
Yeah.
And like I've heard that they do that a couple times, and it's just
Seems
weird.
somehow worse to me. Anyway,
Yeah. Also, that area of town, if you've never been there, is near a dump.
Yeah.
So sometimes when the wind blows just the
Smells
wrong
like-
way,
Smells like dog dick.
you got to make sure your car is on circulating mode.
yeah. So I was really bummed I didn't go to that show, and so I watched my friend who posted a bunch of Instagram stories from it. So the first song on that album, for those who don't know, is an a cappella song, and it's beautiful.
Yep.
These fucking fans are the worst, and I'm so glad I didn't
Shea
go
Stadium?
for this fucking reason. They were screaming every goddamn word.
That's actually why I didn't go to the Phoebe Bridgers show when she came to Irving.
Dude, I was like, I watched those videos and I'm like, I'm actually so glad I didn't go because this would have pissed me.
Yeah.
Because they share a mic when they sing that song.
Are they still doing it backstage?
No, they're like they're on stage for it, but they're sharing a mic, and it's like this beautiful, intimate a cappella thing, and people are just screaming the lyrics, and I was like, this sucks. I cannot. I'm so happy you guys love these three people so much. I love the music. I get it, but this is so hard for me to fucking deal with. So, but I listened to the album because I was like, man, I need to like, I need to re-listen to it after fucking hearing these fans just scream over these Instagram videos. But I am thinking about going to a metal show this weekend, and there's a band called Drug Church, which I like, and they're playing. But the headliner is a band called Drain, which is like a hardcore band, but they're like a young hardcore band who is very open about like the vocalist is like, I'm not really talking about anything. I'm just like yelling, and I'm like, I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So it's
That's good. I bet there's like people in the fan base who are like, it's bullshit. It's really like
Super deep.
yeah,
Super
yeah.
deep.
I think the lead singer's dating Taylor Swift.
So
Yes.
it's also kind of like on the nose metal where like there's a lot of like the bleh and that kind of stuff in there, and I'm like I'm super here for it. So I've been listening to Drain's album. I just closed it. You fucking idiot. Drain's
fucking
album
idiot.
Living
You're an
Proof.
idiot.
So if you want to hear some new hardcore you haven't heard, check out Drain, Living Proof.
I've been listening to a ton of stuff, but the thing that shocked me the most this week was the band Youth Lagoon, which is really just a solo project from an artist named Trevor Powers, which he had retired that name, but then announced, like, I think it was last year, that like, hey, I'm going to release under Youth Lagoon again. Release this record called Heaven is a Junkyard. This is a band I listened to a lot when they first came out, and I was really shocked at this. Like, it is almost just like a piano and singing record, which there's a lot of synth and like that kind of, it's kind of that like indie pop, synth pop was the records I was into, and hearing it this way, I'm like, oh, this was always there. It was just produced in a different way. So this also, I think that that name Heaven is a Junkyard is like just invokes a really interesting image. So very surprised by that. But also, if I can talk about a book for a little bit, I've been reading this book called Quit Your Band, Musical Notes from the Japanese Underground. It is exactly what it just said. Don't read too much into that title. But it's specifically, there's a lot of just interesting. I'm going to Japan, and I'm curious about the Japanese music scene. I don't feel like most of us know much about it, here in the U.S. So I specifically got this book and been reading it. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. So like I think I've told you this, Hagen, but there's so in Japanese or in English, Anglo-Saxon like singing stuff, you can like extend a vowel and you can change the note, and everyone knows if you're singing love.
Yeah.
They know what that means. But apparently in the Japanese language, if you extend a vowel, that can completely change a word. It can like, this isn't the example, but it could be something like you just, instead of saying love, you now said dirt. So
Right.
I dirt you, something like that. That's not the example, just by extending an O. So one of the ways in early Japanese music that they got around this, and why some people don't really vibe with some of this like early pop music, is that the way they got around that is because they were like, well, we need to extend the vowel here, but we need people to know it's not changing the meaning of it, is they would keep the note the same in that, like, basically they would extend that. So if they said an O for a long time, it stayed the same note instead of moving around a lot. So it has this really kind of like sticking to the rhythm feel, which as soon as I noticed that, I went back and listened to some of these like 80s city pop records, and I was like, holy shit, this is getting into some like really cool, like sticking with the rhythm. Like the vocals now have to do these like really distinct rhythms as opposed to like changing around and being very loose. So
God.
Hagen's doing some quick tech stuff.
Troubleshooting.
We good.
So for that reason, I think it's just recontextualize that kind of thing, which I don't think about because I'm not like a music theory person. I listen to stuff, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But whenever I heard that and started listening with that purpose, I was like, wow, that's actually super cool. But also I see how that has like distanced some people because they're used to like vocals being able to flow instead of sticking to a rhythm like the rest of the instruments. So just wanted to bring up that book because I'm enjoying it, and I thought that was a really interesting thing that I don't think any of us would have organically noticed.
No.
Yeah, it's a super cool. That's a really, really interesting. Like, I would have never ever had to think about that.
Yeah,
That's
and
wild.
there's a lot of people who have like, he basically says in this book, like, yeah, he's from the UK and lives in Tokyo now, the author, and basically just said like, I kind of see where Westerners like basically write off Japanese music by saying like, oh, it's a rip off or it's heavily influenced by Western music. But here's the reasons why you may think that, and here's why I want to challenge that. And I was like, oh, this is really cool and a really good idea. And a lot of like apparently Japanese music is mixed super, like if we're just talking about J-pop or J-rock, it's specifically mixed very high treble. And if you listen to most like Western rock music, it's typically in the middle range.
Right.
And the reason why they have it so high is because I guess, I don't know if this is a biological thing or if it's just a cultural thing, but a lot of Japanese singers sing in a higher register as opposed to something more in the middle. So because of that, if you have a band that's mixed towards the middle and then the singer really up high, there's this like sonic space that's like empty between the two. So they basically, on a lot of their music, will move the band up to that treble space of the singer. And for a lot of people, that can be really like we're ingrained. Most treble music in Western society is like dance music.
Yeah.
Right.
And so a lot of people will be like, well, I don't like dance music, but they are not thinking that. It's just like you're organically, it's like, what's bass heavy music? Well, it's like, like hip hop, like, and then like other type of dance music, maybe techno.
Yeah.
So cool stuff that I never really thought of. Turns out reading books opens your mind.
That's crazy.
Still not going to do it.
Cool. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
All right, I do. So this Friday, June 16th, I will be at Dan's Silverleaf with Megan Story, and also I'll be filling in with Edgar Derby. If everybody's listening to the show and watching the show, Mike was on the show. Mike from Edgar Derby was on. He's a good friend, and I'll be playing with him as well as Megan. So if you're in Denton, Texas, come to Dan's Silverleaf on Friday, June 16th. And also, I am releasing a new song with Matthew and the Arrogant Sea. It will be out as on Wednesday, which is for the audio listeners. It's out now. It's called Targets. We're also announcing our full-length album coming out. It's like it's been a while since that band released a full album, but it's my first time releasing a full-length album with the band, so I'm really excited to announce that. Yeah, it's gonna be super duper fun for us to promote this and play these songs and finally get it out in the world. I'm very excited. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it so much. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, tell your friends to like and subscribe as well. If you're using Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, whatever the app tells you to do. If you're on social media, you can find us DFDA Podcast on Instagram. Don't Feed the Artists on TikTok. If you're free this Friday afternoon, Dave and I are going to be doing a fun Friday also here on YouTube, listening to the Queens of the Stone Age album. So
There you go. And do that like all the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can hop in and listen to the new Queens of Stone Age album with us, but you got to subscribe to the YouTube to know when we're going to be live. So make sure you do that. If you want to say hi, if you have any topic suggestions, show suggestions, anything at all, shoot us an email at I was going to say
Healy's.
yeah, that's better. Healy, that's better than I was going to
Or
say.
Dog Dick
That's
World.
not what I'm going to say. Email us at Healy, whichever one, at don'tfeedtheartist.com. Seriously, you can email us at anything you want. So you can email us at coaster at don'tfeedtheartist.com.
Yeah.
And we'll get the email to say hi, say what's up, drop a comment on the YouTube, drop a DM, drop a comment on the Instagram. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it so much.
Fuck off! Get me in town!
Yeehaw.